Hi, I'm Aaron Ross, founder and CEO of LeaseExchange. I'd like to begin by asking a question. Which one of these is an unregulated industry? Gambling, prostitution, or leasing? I'm actually very serious. Equipment leasing is unregulated. And a consequence of that is you have a free-for-all market. It's every man for themselves. And it creates an industry where everyone is a victim because it's so inefficient. You have leasing customers that spend way too much time and money on a complex process, and they have no control over this process. You have equipment sellers, vendors, who lose sales because too many of their customers are rejected by this inefficient market. And leasing companies who are manually sifting through applications, looking for those customers that they want to work with. It doesn't work well. And there are lots of companies in this market. There are 6,000 leasing companies. There's 100,000 or more equipment sellers and millions of leasing customers. And they are all leasing victims, victims of this inefficient, broken legacy process and market. And yet, despite the pain, it's huge. It's big. It's $233 billion here in the U.S. 80% of U.S. companies lease. And they lease everything from Mack trucks to iMacs to furniture to ships to tanning beds. And it's an international market of $1 trillion. It's time to make things right. It is time to set the standard. The LeaseExchange has built an open market to bring competition and transparency to the process. A fair market so people are put in control of the process and they're not taken advantage of by other members of the marketplace. And an efficient market where people can do more business in less time for less money. The standard benefits everyone. It is an industry solution. So leasing customers get better value because they felt a single online application for multiple competitive bids. Equipment sellers close more sales because they're getting the highest approval rates, faster approvals, and better pricing. They are more competitive. And leasing companies find better leases because they can filter out the stuff they don't want and find exact customers that they do want. For example, MMI Products is a leasing customer that applied last week on the exchange. It was about $52,000 of Cisco equipment. It could have been trucks or ships for all our exchange carriers. It took probably about 15 minutes to apply. And within 45 minutes, they received 3 committed, competitive bids for that lease. And the cost difference was between the high and the low was over $16,000 with an hour's worth of work and waiting. Now, our business model is based on transaction fees. So when this lease closes, we'll earn about 3% or $1,500. It is a money machine. The standard that we've built is constantly being innovated because there are so many opportunities in this market. The entire market is inefficient from beginning to end. And the LeaseExchange is just the beginning. And incidentally, the LeaseExchange is now open for business. We have a working product. And we're receiving customers from multiple points of entry, from offline channels such as value-added resellers. And an example of this is our Avcom agreement for a $30 million volume commitment. And online channels. We're talking to small business portals and B2B exchanges, anywhere that a company wants to offer leasing as a value-added service, and they want to offer the best that they can. The customers are finding us. We've seen over $3 million in submitted applications to the exchange, growing obviously very rapidly. But I should point out that although this isn't a huge number, oh, by the way, we weren't actually open for business until recently. This business found us before we were open because people are crying. I mean, they're desperate for a better way to lease because this process is so painful. They found us despite our best efforts to stay quiet and stealthy. There's a real business behind these slides. Right? We've got management with the expertise and experience from financial, technology, and real-world companies. Our Series A was led last year by Walden VC and included Angel Investors LP. And this company has a real future. I mean, to boil it down, you've got this huge, unregulated, just broken market. It doesn't work well. And it's crying for an industry solution. And LeaseExchange is that infrastructure solution to fix it. We are the only live venture-backed exchange. We've proven execution. We've got a working product, real applications and customers, and satisfied members of the exchange. And to scale, incidentally, we are seeking a Series B funding. We are on a mission to right what's wrong with leasing. We are the clean, well-lighted marketplace for leasing. Thank you.